I know we have all heard the drama around the Sig P320, but there has been a resurgency in this platform that I really can't deny anymore. A lot of people have been asking customer support, and we've seen a lot of orders for 320 parts, so we felt like it was a good time to make this video and talk about how you could do a Sig P320 build in 2026. So as I said, there's a lot of drama around the Sig P320. I recommend you go out and do some research. Don't get your information from just one source like YouTube. Check out YouTube, check out Reddit, check out Google. There's a lot of information about this gun on the internet. And I wanna make sure everyone knows the potential risks when doing a build like this. Everyone has an opinion about this gun, and it has definitely affected the industry. One thing to keep in mind before you do this competition 320 build, check with your local range and make sure that you are allowed to have a P320 on their facility. A lot of these ranges banned 320s from entering their facility, so make sure that where you're gonna go train with this or where you're going to go compete with this is going to allow you to have this gun before you spend a lot of money building it and you can't use it. Okay, so now let's talk about what you need to do when building a Sig P320 to have the best result. The reason I can say that is because I've spent a lot of time building P320s. If you go look at our channel over the history of posting, and we've been manufacturing 320 accessories for like 4 years now. So we have a lot of rounds through these guns, a lot of experience, and I'm gonna try to wrap all that into one quick video, kind of highlighting what is going to be the most important things to look at when building a competition P320. We're just gonna go top to bottom on this build. I'll tell you what accessory we have and why we chose it. At the very top, we have the Sig Romeo X red dot. This red dot has had some issues with us. More specifically, the enclosed one. We've actually had the back glass kind of cracking up. This is not the enclosed emitter one, but what I like about these red dots is they just fit so nicely on their slides. They're obviously made for their slides, so it's just a direct bolt on. I'm not a huge fan of the Delta Point Pro, which notoriously is what most Sig P320s had on it for the last 4 years. So I like this red dot a little bit more. It is going to be rather expensive, but this specific one that is not an enclosed dot has worked really well for us. And it's what I recommend putting on a competition build. If you like a larger window, the Leopold Delta Point Pro is gonna be fine for you. We've never had one die. I just never have been a fan of the button geometry in the middle of the red dot itself. I like having buttons on the sides, and changing out batteries was always kind of a pain in the butt, whereas this one has a battery tray on the side, making it a little bit easier. But at the end of the day, choose the optic that's gonna be best for you. That's just what we have on this build. Working our way down, you guys will see I didn't even bother with iron sights. I just plan on just running a red dot. This is a competition build that I'm gonna be changing batteries in frequently. I don't need backup iron sights to shoot at a competition, so that's why they're just standard height sights, never even changed them out. What we did when starting this build is I just bought a 3.6 inch subcompact 320, and then I threw half of the gun away. And not actually threw the gun away, but I took the frame out and I went out and bought the other accessories around it. I found that that's just the best economical way to do it, because most of the expensive parts are not the frame. It's gonna be the slide, it's gonna be the threaded barrel, it's gonna be the FCU. So your $50 frame you can just set to the side. Mags do get expensive, but that's one nice thing about Sig P320 is there are so many 320 mags on the market now, you can find them pretty cheap. With all the drama, you guys are probably gonna be able to find a lot of these parts on the used market relatively cheaply. You might even find some builds just like this used going for really cheap. So keep that in mind whenever you're looking at doing this. However, we're starting to see that demand really start to peak up, so maybe things will change in the next few months. Looking at the barrel in the slide, this is a true precision 4.3 inch threaded barrel. Now this is very important. If you have a subcompact slide, you need to get a 4.3 inch threaded barrel. If you have an X carry slide, which is slightly longer, you need to get a 4.6 inch threaded barrel. Sig and their X line and all their names make it very confusing. And if you have any issues, send an email to support at Herrington Arms, we'll definitely help you out. But that is going to be the best rule of thumb. Subcompact 4.3, X carry 4.6 threaded. And we are running a threaded barrel because we are running the Herrington Arms HC320 flat. In my opinion, this is the most effective compensator that Herrington Arms produces. The Sig P320 has a slightly higher bore axis, but this compensator does a phenomenal job at reducing recoil, and it sits perfectly flush in this build. We'll talk more about the frame in a second. But what's nice about this compensator is it reduces the actual muzzle flip and the hand felt recoil. So for competitive shooting, muzzle flip is really important for getting that dot back on target quickly, but felt recoil is going to allow them to shoot faster. You're gonna be able to punch rounds out just a little bit faster, and this compensator does a great job at doing both of those things. Now we do make a few other compensators for different use cases. If you don't like side ports, we do make a 320XL or a 320R. The 320R was another great option on this build. It was made for the Flux Raider chassis system, and it is 2 large top ports. We also have the HC320, which is basically the same composites, but it has a chamfer on the front. So if you're not looking at doing this style integration and you just want a full-size 320 with a full-size frame and a compensator, that HC320 is probably gonna be a ticket for you. Go over to our website, check it out. We got a lot of different compensators for the 320, and they all serve a different purpose. Moving our way down to the frame of this gun, first thing we gotta talk about is the Align Tactical Thumb Rest. For competition shooters, thumb rests are nothing new to you. They're a great spot to index and put downward pressure on the tip of the gun. The more downward pressure you have, the more the gun wants to get pushed down. You're fighting that recoil. Just know that when you're picking out holsters, this could be tricky, and make sure that when you buy a holster, that your Align Tactical Thumb Rest will fit in there, because it doesn't fit all holsters. But this is a great feature. It does help you fight some of that recoil, gives you a really nice indexing spot. Really nice accessory for this competition build. Another Align Tactical accessory we have on here is this extended and offset mag release. In my opinion, this is a must for competition. It's a rather cheap component, but does such a good job at putting the mag release in just the right spot. Makes it really easy to hit the button. The Sig P320 has a phenomenal mag release. The mag drops free and fast. The button is easy to push, so it makes itself a perfect candidate for an offset mag release for competition. And Align Tactical, in my opinion, does it best. For the FCU system, you guys will see we just have nothing special here, just your standard FCU from Sig Sauer. You guys could do the better version of their FCU that has the gold trigger, but honestly, I don't feel like I see a huge difference in the trigger pull. Maybe a slightly better break and maybe a little bit more refined, but it's not very noticeable. So if you guys do choose to save some money, the standard FCU trigger is gonna work just fine. So now talking about the frame itself, you guys will see this is the full-size TXG frame. So this is a tungsten infused polymer, so you still get the really nice grip texture. It still is a polymer base, but it's gonna be a lot heavier than the standard X full frame, which is gonna help a lot. You know, the more weight you can add to a build, the better shooting experience you're gonna have, because it's gonna deaden that recoil. On top of that, we have the tungsten weight in the back here. So this gun feels very dense, very heavy, very deadened when you shoot it. You don't have that traditional handgun recoil impulse because there's so much weight on this build. Another great thing about this full-size frame, as you guys can see, it allows us to have this compensator integration. This is what really drew me to the 320 platform a few years ago, is we can do these cool hybrid builds with a smaller slide nested in a full-size frame, and the 320 likes it. It does perfectly fine with it. You can't typically do this with striker-fired guns. However, we're seeing a big shift in the industry to allow it, like with the Springfield Echelon or the Shadow Systems Glock clones. The integration is becoming more prevalent. A lot of people are chasing this kind of staccato XC look where you can put a compensator in the frame that is actually going to be functional, and the Sig P320 or the 365 do a really good job at that. Moving our way down, we have the TLR1 HLX. This is a really good weapon light. Not really necessary for competition shooting, but it does add a lot of weight to the gun, which does reduce recoil. We found that your traditional TLR1 actually reduces 10% muzzle flip on our ransom rest testing. So if you're looking at reducing weight on a build, maybe look at throwing a weapon light on there, because it is going to help a little bit. On top of that, it does kind of fill out the fullness of the gun. It makes it look really good. And if you ever do end up using your competition gun for something other than competition, this would make a great home defense gun. And if you are gonna have a home defense gun, absolutely need a weapon light. In my opinion, this is one of the most important accessories you can put on a handgun, because you shouldn't be shooting what you can't see. Moving our way down to the very bottom of this gun, you guys will see we have the Herrington Arms 320XL magwell. For those that wanna take it up a notch and add a huge funnel to the bottom of their gun, this magwell is going to be it. We've done a lot of testing with this magwell, and I'm happy to say this is probably my favorite magwell that we make. Not only does it feel really good in the hands, but it is a giant funnel that is going to help you have crazy fast reloads. You can basically get away with throwing the mag in here without even paying attention. It's very forgiving, so it's gonna be one of the best accessories you can add for helping reload speed for a competition gun. On top of that, we have a Herrington Arms +5 mag extension on here. This does fit the USPSA gauges, so if you are looking at running an extension in competition, this is gonna fit just fine. It also looks really good on this build. You can see we have a gray mag extension with a black bottom plate. So this two-tone gray and black looks really good if that matters to you. If not, we have a lot of different colors available, but adding capacity to a competition gun is going to be very important. So those are all the components on this build. One thing to keep in mind is going to be obviously the reliability of this gun. We've seen zero reliability issues with our 320s over the years. Just know the drama going into it, that these guns do have a now reputation that they have. So be very careful when handling this gun, do your research, and make sure that your range will allow you to shoot this. This is probably my favorite gun to shoot on the range because of how fast and flat it shoots. I have my fastest drill times with this gun, and ultimately it is going to give me the best advantage in a competition. If I'm looking at running open division and competing with $10,000, $15,000 2011s, this gun I feel like gives me that advantage, that I feel like I can hang with those guys. And I don't have to spend that kind of money. This build as a whole is probably in the $2,000 to $3,000 range, maybe even less on the used market right now. And honestly, for that price point, you just really can't go wrong. And I think that's why we're starting to see people come back to the 320, is the people that have them and haven't seen the issues that are proposed online are coming back and using them because they are such a cool platform. So if you guys are interested in any of the products on this build, chances are we probably have it at the website. So go over, check it out. Anything you get on there obviously helps support the channel, which we appreciate a lot. YouTube thinks you're probably gonna like this video, so go check this out. And if you like the video, we'd appreciate a like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.